So Gonzaga, we
Georgia
don't need to
State.
talk about Gonzaga yet.
We do have legendary Georgia State. RJ Hunter hitting that buzzer beater, 6 or 7 years ago. But yeah, no, they're
Yeah,
not winning
I
that.
remember it was it was either, I forget if it was the Thursday or the Friday, but it was, I think, a 12:30 tip or like a 12:45 tip, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
later. And I got the notification RJ Hunter buzzer beater while I was at school still. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's wild that I missed so much when I was in high school, middle school, and elementary school. I missed so much because I was just in school, right? I
Yeah.
didn't have my phone. I didn't have a phone for a long time. I didn't have my phone on all the time. And it's just, just thinking about the crazy March Madness stuff that I wasn't able to watch until I got home because just
Yeah.
school.
Well, I was lucky because besides 8th grade, which was the year of that RJ Hunter buzzer beater, I had break every year during this time, so I was able to always watch the games. But that RJ Hunter game, I remember it was 8th grade for me, and we just it was during lunchtime. We just got on like this TV in the lunchroom, and the game's going on. Everyone was going like at first like they're like it's an 11-point game. Why do we care? And then it was like 3 minutes left, 11-point game, and then like it's like a 2-point game at the end. Everyone went crazy when RJ entered that buzzer beater. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole lunchroom just went nuts. That was a fun time.
Gotta love the upsets. I may or may not have some big upsets coming, but we will stick with the chalk with Gonzaga.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we got Gonzaga. So you're gonna like one of my picks here, and you're gonna hate the other one.
Yeah.
Your two favorite teams are coming up on this side.
I feel like I know what's about to happen. Here's
I
the
got
thing.
Boise State
I
beating
love
Memphis.
me some Boise State. Boise State's been really good this year. They're at 27-7. They won the Mountain West for the first time, I think, ever, if not for a very long time.
They're very good.
The problem is Memphis is really freaking good, and they should not be a 9 seed. They are much better than a 9 seed. They just have these weird. Do they have COVID issues? They've had like eligibility issues. They have inconsistency issues. But this is a team that went out and beat Houston twice. Like if I click the little I here, this is a team that beat Houston twice. Just whacked Houston like 2 weeks ago.
And barely lost to Murray State, who's also another very underseeded basketball team.
Yeah. Beat Alabama by double digits.
It's like, Iowa State lost by 19. But Iowa State was bad time.
I got Boise State drives me up the wall.
I got Boise State winning.
Boise State winning?
I do. I like this Boise State team a lot.
Wow.
I think they're hot right now.
I appreciate it. I'm going Memphis.
Okay, that's fine.
I think this Gonzaga Memphis game is, to me, feels like a Sweet 16 game, but it just sucks that Memphis is a 9 seed. Also, it sucks that they're playing Boise State round 1. So
the next game, you're not gonna like my pick here. I got New Mexico State with the upset. After all these years of making the tournament, being a popular upset pick, I got New Mexico State finally doing it. They got the offense. They got they just won their conference tournament. UConn hasn't been as hot recently. I got New Mexico State.
No, no. UConn. This is the highest they've been since 2011. Of course, they won the title in 2011. They are great around the are great defending the basket. Hard to get layups and dunks against them.
But the highest they've been since 2013, 2014 when they won. Oh, highest.
Well, no, they were 7 seed and 14.
They were 7 seed. Okay, I thought you said hottest.
Yeah. So definitely not the hottest team. But
I was gonna say that UConn team was scorching hot going into the tournament. They weren't even supposed to be like on the bubble a month before that, and then they just won like every game.
Yeah, iconic. That was 11 years ago. They had that run in 2011. Wild.
Yeah, and 8 years ago they had. That's even crazier to me because I remember that one.
Like, 7 versus 8 championship game, like we all expected, just casually. And it was Florida and Wisconsin. Oh, that was the Aaron Harrison year that he hit all of the threes.
Yes, that game that was insane. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm going UConn here. I think UConn's a little underseeded. I would have probably had them on the 4 line. I will touch on a different 4 seed that I believe is wildly overrated and actively sucks at the game of basketball, but they're a 4 seed.
I might agree with you on this. Actually,
I hope we do agree. But
are they in the same conference?
Yes, they are in the same conference.
Awesome.
So UConn, I think UConn is better than a 5. All due respect to the Aggies,
this New Mexico State team's tough.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think the 5-12 matchup here is
You think it could be
scary.
a good game?
I think it's going to be a great game. I wouldn't be surprised
Okay.
if it's a one possession game. UConn has stunk at the free throw line this year too, which is very out of character. But I got to go with the Huskies. I think this team is just has a little bit too much scoring, just has a little bit too much interior defense, just has a little bit too much, and I think they get it done.
Okay.
Right.
Arkansas, Vermont. I think this will be a sneaky good game, but I feel like Arkansas has too much offensive firepower.
Agreed.
Vermont's always a team that's gonna be tough. I don't think it's gonna be easy for Arkansas. I think it'll be pretty similar to the Arkansas Colgate game last year. I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas like went down double digits early and then came back like the Colgate game last year. They're down by 15, I believe, and then they just went like just trapped everyone right in front of half court, and Colgate kept making mistakes. I think it'll be a pretty similar game to that. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we got an upset here, but I'm not expecting it either.
Yeah, this is Vermont. With all due respect, they've won 22 of their last 23. They were 17-1 the America East. They're on fire, but the America East is very different from the SEC. And this is one that Vermont, the last like 5 years, it feels like they've been either a 13 seed or a 14 seed, and they've been a super popular upset pick. They don't pull it off, very much like a New Mexico State or like a Yale. We'll touch on Yale in a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Catamounts might be able to pull something here. I wouldn't be shocked if it ends up being New Mexico State versus Vermont in the next round, but I do think Arkansas is a little bit better than a 4 seed, and I trust them to get it done.
Okay. Yep, that's fair. This next game, I don't have a pick for yet. I think if Rutgers wins, I got Rutgers winning. I think if Notre Dame wins, I got Alabama winning. But this Notre Dame team's so inconsistent. Like sometimes they looked amazing, and
I
then
picked them
sometimes
to win I picked them to win the ACC actually.
they weren't number 2, right? They were the number 2 ranked team going into the tournament.
I want to say they were really high. Like they were like at least 3. I think UNC was 2.
No,
And
UNC
I'm like,
was 4. UNC was 4,
really?
I think. No, 3. It went Duke, Notre Dame.
Okay.
Who was the 3? UNC, Miami.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Wake was
Virginia
5.
Tech of all teams randomly like just goes in and murders the tournament.
I was happy for Virginia Tech, but I was so upset Wake didn't get in. I'm a Wake and BC. Like I have family who went to Wake and BC, so when BC beat Wake and then they almost beat Miami, I was like happy but upset. And then when Wake didn't get in, I was a little mad. So, but it is what it is.
See, I don't trust Rutgers to beat Notre Dame. I think Rutgers is unequivocally better than Notre Dame, but I think
it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that.
I think both of them are a lot more deserving to be in the tournament without having to go and play than a different 11 seed, but we'll touch on them when we get there.
Yeah, we will be touching on them a little bit. I'm going to roll with Alabama. I don't think Alabama is quite as good as they were last year. Definitely not as good as they were last year. They made a dominant run at the tournament even last year. And I think Rutgers is sort of that.
I think I think my pick doesn't really matter. The team here is going to whoever. So
yeah. All right, we head to Texas Tech, Montana State. With all due respect to the Bobcats,
they've got a 1 seed besides the 3 seed they're playing.
Yeah. And also shout out to Troy Anderson, Montana State legend on the football team at least.
I think Davidson's shooting is going to beat Michigan State. This Michigan State they haven't really impressed me this year. I like this Davidson team a lot. Don't be surprised if they make a run in the tournament.
I think this is definitely like one of the underseeded teams that if they had just held off against Richmond in the A10 final, I think they're
a great game, by the way.
Yeah, excellent. I think they're an 8 or a 9. They're much higher. They avoid this. Like Michigan State's like good because they're always good, but it's not. This isn't one of those juggernaut teams.
Yeah, there's not really that much life to this team. It feels like there has been with other Michigan State teams. Other Michigan State teams really feel like they've had. Because Michigan State's had some teams that have been underseeded going into the tournament that have made big runs.
Like 2015, they went to the Final Four and got murdered by Duke.
Yeah. But this doesn't feel like that type of situation. They don't feel like they have much going on going into the tournament. So yeah, I think Davidson will beat them pretty handily, to be honest. In the
Yeah,
same
I will
vein,
just.
if you remember that Murray State Marquette, I think it
Oh,
was
of
10.
course, the John Morant
When
triple
John Morant
double.
went crazy. Yeah, I think you'll get something similar here. No, I don't think you don't have John Morant playing this game, but I think it'll be a pretty lopsided, or not lopsided, but it won't be a game that's decided in the last minute.
For sure, and I don't think we have to talk much about
I
CSU.
have Duke, but I do think Duke is not that great this year. They've had games that have looked really good, but feels like for the most part they're pretty mediocre against bad competition. They're pretty mediocre against good competition, compared to other Duke teams. Obviously, they're still a 2 seed. They're a very good basketball team, but recently they had the bad loss to North Carolina. Even Duke, the way they got beat was just embarrassing for that season long game. And then, they got killed in the ACC final. Now looking great against Syracuse or Miami. So I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if they go early. Uh, Maybe not in the first round. I'd probably be shocked they lost to CSU Fullerton, but we'll talk about the next game later.
Absolutely. So do you want to jump over and keep doing round of 64 matches, or do you want to finish
Yes.
up the West?
Yeah. Let's go keep it around the 64 matches. I like doing it
All
like
right.
this.
Do you want to go to the Arizona region or the Baylor region?
Let's go to Arizona region.
Okay. I think it's pretty safe to say Arizona rolls over Wright State or Bryant.
Though Bryant does have the leading scorer in the country, but yeah, I might be going to that game though. I might be going to that.
Solid. I do know Bryant played
Yeah,
one halfway decent team, aka Houston. They lost by 70.
Wait, what? 70?
Yes.
Holy.
Oh no, the Bryant. I believe it was 113 to 44.
No way.
Okay. I'm pulling up a different tab. Houston Bryant score. It was bad. It was 111 to 44.
Sheesh, that's terrible. Wow.
Lost by 57. Look, I know we're going to touch on Houston in a little bit, but I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's a good strategy to lose a game by 67.
Yeah, and they only lost to Cincinnati by 15 the next game, which considering. To be fair, I was talking to my friend about this because he's been a lot more invested in the season than I have. He said that their leading scorer, who's the leading scorer in the country, if I can pull him up real quick, because I am not good with names right now. I think his name is Peter Kiss, averaging 25.1 points a game on 46% shooting. He came up really out of nowhere. Like, he didn't start off the season, shooting that great. He only averaged 17 a game last year. So he's really hot going into the tournament. I think they will beat Wright State. At that point, after the Cincinnati game, they were 3-6. They finished. They won 19 of their last 22. Granted, against weaker competition, but yeah, they're gonna lose to Arizona, but I don't think they'll get thoroughly embarrassed, like other 16 seeds can.
Bear down, go Cats. All right. By the way, the Wright State is 2-point favorites.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue on through the South. Seton Hall and TCU. This is a weird one. Seton Hall is favored by a point. TCU is favored by like ESPN's Basketball Power Index. This is the bracket. These are the games that make the bracket so stupid every year. It's these 8-9 games. It's these 7-10 games.
You have no idea where they're gonna go.
I'll use Michigan State Davidson as an example. It does not matter who wins that game. Duke will beat them. I will put that out there. Duke will beat whoever wins that game. So it is totally and entirely irrelevant to the outcome of the tournament. But it'll destroy 50% of brackets because, I don't know, you don't know who's going to win these 7-10 games. Like, it's one thing for the upsets. Like, let's say Montana State beats Texas Tech. Okay, that catches everyone off guard. But just the stupidity almost of these 8-9 games, the 7-10 games, and some of the 6-11 games, this is so it's almost so pointless.
I think you have a point, but I think you chose the wrong game because I think Davidson Duke will be very interesting.
But, I'm just using that as an example. I think
Personally, I know you like this Memphis team a lot. I think Boise State Memphis is a better example. I think whoever wins that game is going to get stomped by Gonzaga.
That's I think Memphis is going to keep it within 10.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm really excited to watch Memphis in the tournament.
All right. We'll see what happens. I think
actually Seton Hall TCU might be the best example because I think Arizona is unequivocally better.
Arizona, yeah. I think
this game is pointless.
I think TCU has the athleticism of Seton Hall. I mean Seton Hall's cool. I think TCU has the athleticism. I think they'll they've been playing well recently. They had that 20-point comeback win against Texas. They beat Texas towards the end of that season too.
Yep.
They beat Kansas as well, I think. They got stomped by Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, but I like TCU in that game for sure.
Yeah. I think I'm going to lean with the Horned Frogs. This is one that it's a coin flip essentially.
Either way,
yeah. Like
that's the reason why it's possible to get perfect brackets because you can't win, 10 coin flips, in a row.
Yeah. It's like you can win like 2, right? You can get Memphis and Davidson, right? Or you can get TCU and whomever we choose out of that 7-10 matchup, but you're not getting all 4. Chances of you getting all 4 is very slim. This is too easy.
I like UAB.
Houston's much better than a 5. Houston, to me, is more like a 2 or a 3. They got absolutely hosed here.
I don't like. I like this. What I was gonna say is I like this UAB team, but I don't know if I like them to win this because it is a tough matchup. Even though I'm not the biggest Houston fan, just the matchup doesn't work too well for UAB. I think Houston will probably win, but I think it'll be a very good basketball game. Because UAB's offense is really good, but their defense is kind of lacking. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if you remember the year that they beat Iowa State, 2014, 2015. I think.
Yeah, that was the year. There was that double. That was the Georgia State year. Yeah. There were the 2 14 seeds, and then UCLA beat. UCLA came around and beat the. They went to the Sweet 16 as an 11 seed. Shout out to Teeks in the chat.
Yes, shout out to him.
Also, he thinks Houston's winning the whole thing, which I don't actually disagree with. I don't disagree with you.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I do disagree with you, but I am not totally against your opinion, if that makes sense.
That's fair. So I'll take Houston there, but I think it'll be a very good game.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois Chattanooga. I think this would be an amazing game if Illinois hadn't got upset last year. I think usually when a team loses these type of games, it's when their focus is off. They're thinking, we're going to win this game. Not that, so many upsets have happened. It's hard to get like that overconfident, but
right.
I feel like Illinois after losing last year is going to play this more like, okay, this is our last game, rather than playing like, they did against Loyola Chicago where it felt like they were left a lot on the floor. They only have one senior coming back from last year. I think most of the guys are new, but or only one senior. I think Chattanooga can too. I think I'd feel a lot more confident if Illinois hadn't lost last year though. But
yeah,
I'll go with Illinois. I think it'll be a really good game. That Chattanooga buzzer beater in the what conference are they in?
SoCon Southern.
Yeah, that was the start of March for me. That was when I was like, okay, it's March now. Was when that buzzer beater was insane. I wish we could pull that up to show the viewers because that one was just.
I don't think I posted on the YouTube. I've been posting a ton of clips, NBA stuff, NFL stuff, MLB stuff. I don't know if I posted that one. I did post, was it Oklahoma and Kansas? No, Oklahoma Baylor. There was a nice, really, really nice and one with like 20 seconds left that sealed it for Oklahoma. I did post that and got demonetized.
Yeah.
I hate like this like little pod with Houston, UAB, Illinois, and Chattanooga. It annoys me that I just wish UAB got a different matchup because I feel like they could win a different matchup. I wish Chattanooga got a different matchup because I feel like they would win a different matchup.
Yes,
then I look at this next game.
The Illinois team is amazing, but like I said, I think their focus is they're going to be ultra focused in, and I don't know. It's hard for me to see a team like that getting upset 2 years in a row because they've been very good regular season teams. Now this next game really makes me mad. I don't know how Michigan made the tournament. They don't deserve it at all.
They're 3 games above 500.
They're 3 games above 500. They're struggling going into the tournament. Their coach is an idiot. they do not deserve to be in the tournament at all. And it makes me so mad that they're in over a team like Wake Forest or Xavier.
Yep.
You know, like I don't get it. I really don't understand. It's about money. It's really what it comes down to. The committee knew that Michigan was going to bring more ratings than these other teams on the bubble, and yeah, that's what they did.
What do you do? They get a Mountain West team.
Colorado team, this Colorado State team, I feel like is underseeded. They've got a few like really elite players who I think they have one guy who's like top 5 in assists. They have a lot of good players. I think Colorado State wins this by a good amount. Sends Michigan home after one game. Xavier to Michigan, I completely agree. That Xavier team is nice. I'm biased because I'm a Wake fan, but I think this Wake Forest team was really good. Who unfortunately ran into a Boston College team that was playing good basketball in the ACC tournament. Almost beat Miami, who I think is another very good team. But
and didn't Wake have the ACC Player of the Year and the Coach of the Year?
And the Coach of the Year, yeah. Crazy.
That's a shame. Colorado State, they beat Boise State twice. They're a good team. I think 6 might be a little high. It's just
I don't know. I think they're underseeded, honestly, dude. They're really good.
I probably would have put them on the 7 line, to be honest with you. Like I would take. I don't know if I'm necessarily like. I'd probably have them on the 7 line. I think it's fine. I think they're better than Michigan, unequivocally better than Michigan. There's always that team that shouldn't be in the tournament that just gets thrown in the tournament. Yeah, they win like 5 games in a row. Like think
like UCLA last year. I don't think UCLA should win last year, and then they go to the Final Four. And I'm terrified.
VCU in 2011. It's like it just happens. These teams that don't deserve to be here show that we actually deserve to be here. So I'm going to have more brackets than I should that have Michigan winning. So this will not be one of them. I think the Rams do beat the Wolverines.
Yes. I think this Longwood team's exciting. Unfortunately, they ran into one of the hottest teams in college basketball, and I think Tennessee's going to win. I think Longwood could give them a fight. They're a good basketball team. But they're not beating Tennessee.
Yeah, shout out to Longwood. Their first ever men's tournament and first ever women's tournament this year.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, congratulations. Ohio State Loyola. Ohio State is. Yeah, I do like Loyola here too. Ohio State is. I would not be surprised if they went to the Final Four. I would also not be surprised if they got 40-pieced.
By Loyola,
like they
so
did they play Friday? Yes. Yeah. If they get 40-pieced on Friday, I'm not shocked. I'm just not. I don't even know if I want to wake up for this game. But they could also win and all of a sudden win go to the Final Four. I would not be shocked. This is a team that beat Duke. This is a team that beat Illinois, beat Wisconsin, beat Michigan State. But it's also a team that it's just so goofy. Like they play with such it's almost like the Timberwolves in the NBA. Like the last couple of years, not this year, they're actually halfway decent this year, but they'd have these games that like Karl Anthony Towns drops 50 for no reason and they beat like the Warriors, right? They were one of the teams that beat the 2016 Warriors at home, right? And it just happens. It's like, how? No one knows. But then the next game, they'll go play, I don't know, the College for the Blind and lose by 30 for zero reason whatsoever. I think this Ohio State team is very much in that same range.
And again, I haven't been good with names this year, but I'm pretty sure their whole team relies on basically like 2 players. So if those guys, and if those guys are off, they're screwed. Pretty similar to what happened last year. They had a lot of guys, go out sad. So I like little Chicago.
Shout out to Max Asmus and Oral Roberts.
Yes. I'm upset they're not here this year.
Facts. Although we have a really good team in place of them. Which we will talk about in a little bit.
Yep. Well, Villanova is going to beat Delaware. I don't think this Villanova team's that great. Compared to other 2-15 matchups, it's not one that would be too shocking for me. Like, I mean, it's shocking. It's 2-15, but I don't think this Villanova team is anything special, really. But
okay, do you know what Delaware's mascot is?
Yeah, I could totally see Loyola doing it. What's Delaware's mascot?
The Blue Hens.
Interesting.
Also, home of Joe Flacco.
Yes. I could totally. Loyola has the situation here to go to the Elite Eight. I agree.
I agree.
They have the 10-2 matchup that they'd love.
All right, let's get into the Baylor side of the bracket, the East.
The injured Baylor Bulldogs.
Huh?
The injured Baylor Bulldogs. I'm pretty sure their best or second best players out for the tournament.
Let me see if it's in the. Yes, starting center Jonathan Chamawa. Chamwa. There we go. I'm not even gonna attempt his last name. Sorry, sir. With all due respect, not trying. The Fighting Kylo Quins, respectfully, I don't give them much of a chance here.
But yeah, North Carolina now. I think North Carolina's gonna win this game. I think this North Carolina team is pretty underrated. They had a tough one in the ACC tournament, but I think that had a little more to do with Virginia Tech just being super hot and not missing like anything. Right. They could, if they get hot, they're going to be tough. This North Carolina team.
Yeah, and I'm skeptical of this Marquette team.
I don't know what made Marquette a 9 seed. I really
me neither. Like, look, I'm not going to judge every team based on their record because that's not entirely fair. But this is a team that went 19 and 12.
I guess it's because they beat Nova twice. That's probably the only reason. And they beat
Illinois.
Providence is not. Never mind. We'll talk about Providence later.
They beat Seton Hall twice. I don't know, man.
They lost to Creighton 3 times. Creighton's a decent team.
Okay, we will talk about Creighton.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I don't know who wins this. St. Mary's.
I would like to give a personal FU to the city of Laramie, Wyoming. You have caused me so much heartache in my life. Even though there's been like 2 instances I've had to care about your stupid city, you have given me so much heartache in that Boise State game where the ball went out of the back of the end zone for safety, and then we had to punt it back and just like act all depressed. And then I bet on Wyoming. I bet on Wyoming basketball this year and lost because they decided to implode against New Mexico or something. It's like, why?
Yeah.
So
I don't know how Wyoming made the tournament, honestly. I don't get it, but
they were ranked for a part of the year.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. I think Indiana wins. I'll pull up the odds on that game. And I do think St. Mary's.
I don't know who's going to win between Wyoming and Indiana. I don't know who's going to win between that and St. Mary's. This is like
Indiana's 4-point favorites.
Yeah, this is like one of the most stumped. I guess when you're stumped, you should just go with the favorite. So I guess I go with St. Mary's. But yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen in that game. We talked about before. It'll be a game I would not be surprised Vermont won. Arkansas, I feel like firepower give them to win, but Vermont team really nice. Yeah, though every year Vermont feels like an upset pick too. So yeah, it'll be interesting though. I think it's a game I'm excited for. I'm excited for both that and the UConn New Mexico State game. I think they'll both be great games.
Yeah, I hate the years that I like the upset pick, but I don't like the team they're facing.
Yeah,
this is very much Vermont. Like every year, they play like someone that I like. If I was like making lines before the tournament and said, okay, well, I think Arkansas is gonna be like a 3, 4, or 5. I like Arkansas. I think they can go to the Sweet 16. I think they can go to the Elite 8. And then I look at the 13s and 14s, like, okay, Vermont's gonna be in this range, this ballpark, and I'm like, okay, I think they could beat the right team. And then they face each other, and I just throw my hands up.
It's so annoying.
No, like Oral Roberts last year was definitely one of those teams that.
We talked about Oral Roberts the night before, and we were like, this is a team. They have the leading scorer in the country.
Yeah, Max Eastman.
They have that other guy who, the forward, who was really good. Mm-hmm. And it was like, damn, they're 15 seed though, and they're playing Ohio State, and you can't expect them to beat Ohio State,
Hey, they go to the Sweet 16,
and a Max Eastman's supposed to be away from making final or Elite 8.
They could have beaten. Yeah. All right, Jonah, UNC going to the chip. Wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised they made a huge run. I'm not going to say championship, but I would not be surprised they made a huge run, UNC, especially because the 1 seed they got is the most favorable 1 seed. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I agree. So St. Mary's over Indiana.
UCLA is
Very good.
easily win that
UCLA
game.
is very good. Akron, with all due respect, this is one that like Akron's not a team that I'm thinking, oh, I smell an upset if they get the right matchup. Like there's a certain 4 seed that both Jake and I really don't like.
Yes.
That I think all of the 13 seeds would have a reasonable shot of beating. But
Yes.
they happen to play UCLA, who is, I think, better than a 4. So sorry, Akron. Congratulations
This
on
one
winning
I think
that.
Virginia Tech wins. I think Virginia Tech.
Ooh,
They could be the Georgetown of this year. You know, Georgetown got hot in the Big East tournament last year, then get smacked by Colorado. It's a possibility. But this Texas team plays no offense. They've got great defense. They play no offense at all. The Virginia Tech team's rolling. They're making all their shots right now. I don't know. I think Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech wins this, and I'm not sure how close it's going to be. To be honest, I think Virginia Tech runs away with this one.
I'm interested because you said it's a good point that not every team that enters the tournament on fire is the 2011 UConn Huskies.
Yeah,
some of them are absolute disasters and get exposed.
Yeah, Georgetown last year, I put a lot of money on them winning, and they came out. I think they're down 20 in the first half to Colorado. It was bad. It was like 30-8 or something. I'm like,
and they haven't won a Big East game since, have they? Oh wait, didn't they win a tournament game?
They lost. No, they lost by 1 in the tournament. I think they lost 23 games to end the year.
Oh, okay. Well, let's never talk about Georgetown again. See, this is one I don't want to pick either team because I feel like Purdue, not to spoil, is going to.
Wait, who are you picking for Texas Virginia Tech?
I'm just I think I'm going to go Texas. This is a coin flip game for me. I think I'm going to go Texas.
I feel like Yale will give Purdue a game. You know, you always get those good Ivy League teams. You know, 14 seeds good for an Ivy League team. And I don't know if you remember that Georgetown Princeton game. I think it was a 2-15, 3-14, like 10 years ago. And I think Georgetown won on a buzzer beater. There's been a few of those type of games. You had the Cornell Temple upset.
Harvard won a game. Cornell won a couple the one year.
Yeah, Cornell. They went to the Sweet 16.
I want to say they went to the Sweet 16.
They lost to Kentucky. I remember. I think they went to the Sweet 16. Yeah. I became a fan of them for a brief period of time because of that. Because they were the fun fact. Cornell was the first March Madness game I was really into. Was that Cornell Temple game in the 2009-2010 March Madness, and I was like very interested in the underdog, and I became a fan of Cornell. And then when their coach Donahue, I think his name was, got fired, he went to BC actually. So I was like, all right,
solid.
Yeah.
All right, this is a fun one. This is a fun. Well, I guess we have to talk about Purdue. Purdue is very good at basketball.
Ivy is ridiculous. Jordan Ivy or Jalen Jordan. Point guard. He's supposed to be one of the top picks in the draft. Yeah, Jaden Ivy, and then Tavion Williams. All these, like, they got a lot of guys there. So
yeah, I'm going to lean Purdue here. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. It's always these Ivy League schools always play whomever tough. Like there was the one year. You remember the New Mexico Harvard game? No, New Mexico was a 3 seed.
What year is this?
Like 2013 or something. It was a long time. It was one of those ones that you just kind of scratch it off as, oh, it's a 3-14 match. And then I think Harvard just took them behind the woodshed and whacked them.
Sounds familiar, but I don't remember it off top.
Harvard, New Mexico. 13? I think it's 2013. Yeah, it was March 21st, 2013. They won by 6. So they didn't whack them, but it's definitely one of those games that you think, well, New Mexico is just going to win this. And then you wake up the next morning because you're still in middle school and, wow, Harvard beat New Mexico last night. That was unreal.
Yeah.
So we have another comment from Gonzalo. He says, Duke doesn't have an identity.
I agree. I
actually dispute this. Keep in mind that Duke has this guy. You may have heard of him. His name is Mike Krzyzewski. Yes. I don't think the NCAA is going to let Duke just lose early.
I don't know.
This is a big tournament. I am putting my foot in the ground. I'm going to say right now the Duke Blue Devils will win this tournament, and I will hate every moment of it, just as I
Wait,
did in
wait, wait. They're
2015.
gonna win a championship?
Yes, they are going to win the championship. I will
Wow.
hate every moment of it, just like I did in 2015, just like I did in
Wow.
2010. Word to Butler. I still maintain that if I could change any single thing in sports, I would have Gordon Hayward's shot go
Gordon Hayward's
in.
shot going in. Would have
Yes,
been the greatest
just
shot
as
in
an
the
FU to Coach
history.
Krzyzewski. That is it.
Nah, come on. That would have been the greatest tournament run ever, too.
Well, yes, that is pure facts, but I also don't like Duke. That plays a role in this.
I get it. Well, we'll talk about Duke more in a bit. I completely agree with Gonzaga though, but let's get to this game because I think Murray State should be like a 5 seed.
Yeah, I agree. They are red hot. They won what, 29 out of 30 or something like that. They lost to Auburn.
Murray State. Yeah, I don't know how Murray State got a 7 seed. They beat your favorite Memphis.
Yeah. They beat the Mocs too.
30-2 this year. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think they do too. Shout out to the Dons.
A very fun game, but they'll win.
First time they've made the tournament in 25 years, 30 years, something like that.
Shout out to them.
Hold up. There was a no contest. Wait a minute. Whoa. What was the 7-10 matchup?
Wait, I somewhat remember this now. In the last 2 tournaments. Was this last year? I think.
Yeah, it has to be last year. It was a COVID thing.
It was a COVID thing, yeah.
2021 March.
It was Oregon. It was the Oregon game. Oregon won. Oregon. What was it? Wait, hold up. Let me find this. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Oregon.
I don't recall this game at all.
NCAA tournament. Well, because it didn't happen. No contest. It was gonna be a good game too. Who was it? Yeah, this game. VCU.
Oh my lord! Imagine if you lost a perfect bracket because of that.
I think there was someone who had like a perfect bracket outside of that for the first like round of this tournament. Yeah. Was it VCU that won because of it? I think
it was VCU.
VCU won because of it? Okay.
Yeah. And
imagine it was like a 16. Imagine it was like a 16-1 game and the 1 seed had. They definitely would have covered that up. They would have like, we get
yeah, for sure. I think they did that. They may have done that with the playoffs in the NFL. That I don't know. Maybe Matt Stafford had COVID, but who cares? It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Kentucky St. Peter's. Poor St. Peter's because they're actually a pretty good basketball team, but Kentucky, in my opinion, might be the best team in the tournament. So.
Ooh, you're coming with the hot flames. Okay.
This Kentucky team is very good.
I like it. All right, let's head over to the Kansas region, head into the Midwest. We're just going to move Kansas along against generic Texas school.
So I had San Diego State last night, but then I thought about how hot Creighton is coming into the tournament right now, and I think Creighton's going to win this game.
Yeah, I think Creighton's a lot better than a 9 seed. I think they are a team that if they were a 6 seed or a 7 seed, I would not have scratched my eyes or anything. Yeah. San Diego State's actually half a point favorite right now.
San Diego State's a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. They did lose to my Boise State Broncos in the Mountain West title game, but I'm going to roll with Creighton here. I think they're an underdog.
It's one of those games that's a coin flip, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Iowa, Richmond.
This Richmond team is really fun. This is a really fun Richmond team. Unfortunately, Iowa is one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now.
9.5 point favorites.
Yeah. I think they'll win. I think it'll be a 1-possession game, though. Honestly, I think this will be a really, really good basketball game. Now we get to Providence.
Oh my heaven! Okay, let me
say this. I've watched 4 Providence games this year. First Butler game, second Butler game, third Butler game, and the Creighton game. First Butler game, they win by 7. Butler sucked this year, and they barely won that game. I was like, all right, it happens. Close game. Second Butler game, Butler loses by 1, and there were some very questionable calls down the stretch of that game where Butler game. And then the day before game about after this, Butler up by 3 left. His whole arm no foul. It was like in the half. I forget. There was no foul called, and then Providence ends up getting a bucket, and then they get a 3 to take a 2-point lead, whatever. But this is a bad Butler team. This Butler team is not good this year. And then the next day, I think Creighton went on like a 31-2 run and won that game like blowout. I am not impressed by Providence at all. I think South Dakota State is the perfect upset team. They got the scoring, not a terrible defensive team. Yeah, I think South Dakota State wins this game. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a blowout. Like,
Okay, I want you to guess the spread.
Providence by 3.
Providence by 2.5.
Wow.
This is a 4-13 matchup. I just said, the 5-12 matchup in this region is a 9.5 point spread.
Yeah.
The 5-12, a matchup between two teams that are theoretically closer together. But oh my heavens, I'm going to look at the other 4-13s in the meantime. But are you Illinois 8-point favorites over Chattanooga, Arkansas 6.5-point favorites over Vermont, and UCLA is 15-point favorites over Akron. But you're telling me that Providence is a 4 seed and South Dakota State's a 13 seed. This is
Providence is a 7 seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, this Providence team. Like, here's the thing. They are 11-2 in games decided by 5 points or less. Congratulations. I don't think it matters. I think South Dakota State is going to run them out of the gym. I think they win by double digits. I don't. Man, teams like Providence really annoy me because they were the number 1 team in the Big East this year. And they go 25-5 and they have all, we're Providence and we're this top 10 team. No, you suck. You legitimately are not good at basketball half the time. Yeah. And it just annoys me. And they win all these close games and it inflates their record, and they're barely beating good teams and they're losing to weird teams. It's like, come on. Yeah. No. Would I be shocked if they won? No. But they're not going to beat Iowa. I know that.
Yeah, I know that too. Yeah.
So could they beat South Dakota State? Sure. South Dakota State is perennial choke jobs in the tournament, but yeah.
The Iowa State LSU game is very interesting. Both teams are coming to the tournament struggling a little bit. LSU is struggling a lot more. Iowa State. I think Iowa State will win. I think it's a toss-up, but I think Iowa State wins.
I'm going to throw this out there. LSU is a bigger favorite against Iowa State than Providence is against South Dakota State.
What is this, like 4.5-ish?
5. Yep, it's 5.
Well, I'm taking a double upset here, actually.
Yeah, all right. We have back-to-back upset. You go Iowa State.
I'm actually taking a triple upset, actually. I didn't.
Oh, my Lord. Are you really going to take Colgate?
I'm doing it again.
He's doing it again. He's doing it again.
I had Colgate winning last year. They had the big lead, and then they blew it. They still got the big offense.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a 15-game winning streak right now. They found their stride. They started out the season 8-11. They're 23-11 now. Mm-hmm. I think Colgate pulls it
great
off.
3-point shooting team. Yes, 41% on threes.
Yeah. I think it's a perfect upset. I don't think Wisconsin's the most impressive team in the world. It's funny. I've said that with a lot of higher seeds this year, but I feel like there's a lot of fraudulent basketball teams this year. Like, honestly,
yeah, I agree. I think there's
there's any clear-cut winner at all. Like, nobody. Like, there's like 10 teams who win this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and they're not like all 1s, all 2s, and then 2 3s. Yeah. Like, there's like, I think I would throw Houston into that group. I would throw UCLA into that group. I think they would be like, I don't love Auburn as a 2 seed, right? I don't love Wisconsin as a 3. I would take UCLA, and I'm tempted to say I would take Creighton over Wisconsin at this point, but I don't think that game is going to happen. It might. I don't think it's going to happen. I do think Wisconsin beats Colgate, though. I think Wisconsin. I think it's okay. Colgate could have a game that they go 17 of 34 from 3 and just run Wisconsin out of the gym. I wouldn't be shocked, but I do think last year you saw the Arkansas game with
where
Colgate.
They started out just shooting lights out, and then Arkansas tightened up the defense and they struggled.
Yeah, and if I think if you have one of those like 5-minute cold streaks, I think Wisconsin is going to be steady enough scoring the basketball that they're not going to score every time down the floor, but it's going to feel like they score every time down the floor. And it's just that 5-minute cold streak is going to be 10 to run.
I agree, but also I feel like by the way, our Cavs are starting right now, just for
go Cavs.
To let you know, but
it's already 7 Eastern.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? I feel like with the Cavs, sorry, I just got so I feel like with the Cavs, I feel like the same thing with Colgate on a smaller scale, where I feel like you need that experience, losing the way they did, to finally win one, which is big reason why I want the Cavs to make the playoffs, even if they're injured and whatever. Want to make sure they make the playoffs this year because that experience helps you for the next season. I feel like Colgate's more prepared this year to do it. And like I said, if Wisconsin wins, I would not be surprised at all. But we'll see. At least 6 Big Ten teams. I agree. There's a lot of interesting choices coming out of the Big Ten this year, that's for sure.
Michigan's yuck. Indiana's weird. Rutgers is weird.
Iowa's really, really good though.
I like Iowa a lot. Wisconsin, I mean, would you be mad if like Iowa and Wisconsin were just swapped?
If Iowa and Wisconsin, no, I think Iowa's better than Wisconsin.
I think so too. Also, we appreciate the love there, Will.
Thank you,
Make
Will.
sure you tune into Will's show Wednesday nights at 5 Eastern.
Yeah, shout out to Will. That's an OG right there.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's.
I like Miami in this game. I think their offense is really, really good. Yeah, I think they'll win this, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if we got an upset next round too with Miami.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I didn't watch a ton of USC this year. I watched the game against Arizona. They got run around. And I watched the game against Oregon State. And I kid you not, I don't think I've ever seen a college basketball team play as poorly as Oregon State did at the end of regulation, both overtimes.
Wait, they went to overtime with Oregon State?
Yes, the 3 and 22 Oregon State Beavers that I don't think had ever looked at a basketball before playing against USC. I turned it on maybe 5 minutes to go, something like that. And it's like, USC should be running circle. This should be a 40-point game. This should be like Bryant and Houston, what I'm talking about. And I was baffled. I know Oregon State had some games throughout the season. They played better than that. I know that. And 3 and 22 was not necessarily fair to them. But I also know that there is a huge talent gap between USC. Also, is it Isaiah Mobley that's on USC?
I want him to be a Cav next year.
Of course. You think USC is this top 15 school. They're going to the tournament. They're one of the best teams in the Pac-12. You think they would handle the business. They would handle their business against Oregon State up in Corvallis, and they just sucked. Mm-hmm. And Oregon State was somehow worse, but it just went to overtime. It went to double overtime, and I'm thinking Oregon State has if a team takes a 2-point lead in overtime, the game's over. The game is over because neither team could hit a shot. Neither team, if they hit a shot on one end, they like make some dumb decision on the other end. Oregon State had one player with a pulse that hit like 10 jumpers in a row, and he was just phenomenal. Everyone else looked like they'd never seen the game of basketball before.
I mean, it's just crazy how much Ethan Thompson carried that team last year. Big fan of his game. Don't know where he's at now. I was hoping he'd be one of those guys who got undrafted and got to look in the NBA. But yeah, I hope he's still playing basketball at some level because that dude's a baller, and he brought them all the way to Elite 8 last year. So I think Miami gets this. They got a top 20 offense in the country. I forget his first name, but something Brown, their point guard, really good. Isaiah Wong, I believe that's the name. Isaiah Wong is a really good guard as well for them. And they've got a lot of offense, Miami, and I think they're going to run USC out of the gym.
Yeah, I like to see it. Go you, baby! Make sure you download the uSTADIUM app, by the way. And then I can't get over this one no contest game that I just totally forgot existed.
Yeah,
and then Auburn over
Jacksonville State's underseeded, but Auburn, Jackson State's basketball team just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a tough thing with these, these 14 seeds, these 15 seeds, especially in a tournament like this, because you wanna be excited about these teams. You wanna feel like every team has a shot because that's what March Madness is about. But then you look at it and say they need a lot of things to go right just to beat Auburn. Like I'm not saying Auburn's like this god tier team, but
No, they're not playing as well as they were earlier this season.
right.
That's for sure.
And it just kind of bums me out. Like the Jacksonville State game is the kind of game that I wish there's a March Madness video game. Like I would have so much fun with the March
Yeah,
Madness video game.
yeah,
Just unreal amounts of fun, comical amounts of fun. I
yeah.
would play that for hours upon hours. I would play my game rotation after I graduate would be MLB Power Pros once I fix my Wii, March Madness game, Hitman, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which is going to be the greatest game ever made, hopefully,
Okay.
and a college football game. Like I like the NFL more than college, and I like the NBA more than college basketball. But I
Yeah.
think the allure of college basketball and college football video
Well,
games just makes more sense to me.
yeah.
There's so much
A
replay
March
value.
Madness, like just playing March Madness, having a team and stuff. Um, Fun. Your page. Oh, it was cutting out for a second. All right. Um, some sirens in the back,
Oop.
but I,
Are
I,
you getting arrested there, buddy?
yeah, they're coming for me.
Darn. I actually finished watching Breaking Bad not last night,
Oh,
two
it's a
nights ago.
classic.
Yeah, it was
I don't
like
watch many shows, but like I used to watch that religiously as a kid.
uh, it was I liked it. I liked it. There was I did not like that my favorite character died. That like early on too. It's like season 2 or early season 3. It's like, no, I don't know. Stop. I want to appreciate this character, but no, I can't. But anyways, let's go on to round 2. We took an awful long time. Although I guess we are over halfway done with our picks now.
We are,
So it
we
should
are.
go a little bit quicker.
We talk
Gonzaga,
about this,
Memphis.
and then we talk about Brady, and then I got someone coming over here in 53 minutes, so we got some time.
All right. I think Memphis can beat Gonzaga.
So I got Gonzaga, Boise State. I think Gonzaga has potential to lose in this tournament before a Final Four, but I don't think it's gonna be this one. I got Gonzaga moving on to the Sweet 16. Chet is ridiculous. They've well coached as usual, dominant basketball team. Not quite as good as last year, but yeah, I think they win this game. Now I know you're high on Memphis, so let's hear your thoughts.
Okay. Yes, I was right. Memphis did have a COVID thing. They were 9-8, and they got killed in December because of COVID. Since
Okay.
then, they're 10-1. They beat Houston twice,
38%.
and
Damn.
Memphis is one of the hottest teams in the country.
Okay.
I think they do it. I think Memphis beats Gonzaga.
All right.
I think we have another year of what the heck is going up and what the heck is going on up in Spokane. I think we have
Yeah.
another year of that,
Okay.
and they cycle
I'd
through
love to see it.
some more 5 seeds, some more 5 stars like Chet. He's going to go number 1 in the draft and whatnot. And it's like,
Mhm.
I think this Memphis team, I think they have this swagger about them, and they're red hot. Like I said, they've won 12 out of their last 14. They beat Houston, a very good Houston team, I might add. But I don't love the feeling I get out of Gonzaga. Of course, they could win the darn tournament. I'm not gonna say they're not gonna do that, but I like what Memphis brings to the table, and I wish they weren't a 9 seed because they're gonna eliminate Boise State.
All right. All right. Fair enough. All right. So you kind of I got taking
Yeah,
Gonzaga Bulldog.
as much as I want to take my beloved Huskies, I do think this is I think this is I think Arkansas wins here.
Okay.
I think they're just a tiny bit better. I think they're like, if these two teams were on the same line, I wouldn't have been shocked, but I think UConn's more like a 4, but I do think we're a little bit robbed. This is a round of 32 game. It's gonna be a really good game. If it happens, but I would lean Arkansas.
All right. I love this Texas Tech team. I think they're a 1 seed disguised as a 3 seed.
I think they're a lot better. I don't think Alabama's as good as a 6 seed.
Yeah. And then Gonzalez gonna like this pick. I think Davidson shoots lights out. I think Duke is not the same Duke that we've known in past years. Or actually, it might be because they've choked a lot in the past decade, and I think Krzyzewski goes out on a bitter loss to Davidson, and
Wow.
that's gonna
Wow.
be Krzyzewski's career.
That is sadly not going to happen. They're going to win the tournament, and that disgusts me to say that. But
All right,
anyways, all right, Arizona. I think Arizona rolls over TCU.
I think Arizona rolls here too. Even though they have one guy who's injured, they have a very deep basketball team. I think they get that done.
And it kind of bummed me out that I didn't go to any games this year. I didn't get the Zona Zoo pass. It's like I go to the campus and I only watched like a little bit. Darn.
Yeah.
Houston is criminally underrated. I think they're a much better basketball team.
Yeah, I got Houston being Illinois. I don't think they're as underrated as you think, but I think they're better than.
I think they are a top 10 team in the country. Like they are a legit. If they beat Arizona, like Arizona, Houston, as far as I'm concerned, is the winner goes to the Final Four.
I'm about it. I'm gonna switch to Houston pick. I'm taking to beat. I don't know. I think I'm assessing out to feel right. Even as much as I want it to happen, I'll take Duke over Davidson. Switching that pick, I feel like it's early enough where I can still switch it, right? So
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm switching that pick to Duke winning. I think they'll at least make Sweet 16.
All right. I don't want to spend any more time talking about Colorado State.
Really? You don't like them?
It's just Mountain West bias in me, but I find them incredibly annoying. Like I said earlier, I think they're a little bit overseeded. Look at it, 81st in BPI, but they're a 6th seed. Explain.
They got a lot of firepower though on their team.
This is fair. They beat my Broncos twice. They beat St. Mary's. They beat Creighton. The red hot Creighton. Creighton Blue Hawks. Blue Jays. They beat Wyoming once.
I think, but I think whoever wins, I think Tennessee is going to win that game too. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a lot closer than you think, but and then I think Sister Jean does it again. Loyola Chicago moves on.
I agree. And I don't trust the Big East this year.
I don't trust the Big East either. And I think Loyola Chicago's been there before at this point. They always have these crazy runs. Now, it almost feels like the last 2 times it's so unprecedented. This time it feels like everyone thinks it's going to happen.
Yeah. And although with last year's team, they were, if I recall, they were like a top 10 team by like advanced metrics, and they ended up being an 8 seed.
They had a lot of that stuff on their side, but still, that Illinois team looks so good. A lot of people had that Illinois team winning it all, and they came out and smacked Illinois.
Then they lost to, wasn't the
8-12? They lost to Oregon State, right?
Yeah, that's right. They did. I couldn't believe that one. I just totally wrote off Oregon State last year. I just couldn't believe it. I know you didn't write them off, but I totally wrote them off.
No, I did before the tournament, but then when I saw that I believe they beat Tennessee first round. I was like, this is a good basketball team. Basketball team. It really sucks that they couldn't build on that because, it sucks seeing the team.
They were a disaster
all the way up here to, just back to the bottom like that. Which region you want to go to now?
Let's go to the Baylor region, the East.
Man,
you have North Carolina. I really hate the years that I have multiple ones get upset in the second round because it usually doesn't happen, right? It happens later in the tournament that these 1 seeds lose, but
it has happened before. There was that year where Nova lost to
UConn, right? Oh, I guess they were a 2 seed. Yeah. They
Nova lost to Wisconsin that year too.
Nigel Hayes, yes.
Yeah.
And then
who else?
Was it Xavier beat Gonzaga? Was it that?
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the next year,
no, it was Florida State, right?
I don't remember. I just remember having twice. I don't even remember who it was.
I think it was Florida State.
Okay.
And then it was something chaotic. Anyways, this is one year that I'm looking at the Baylor North Carolina game. I'm looking at the Kansas Creighton game. And I'm like, I don't think both Baylor and Kansas make it out alive. Mm-hmm. But I don't know which one loses. And I don't think both of them lose.
I think Kansas is better than Baylor. Even though I'm not a Bill Self fan, they've choked
I think you're right. But
I think also Creighton's better, or well, actually, that actually works to your point that Creighton is a better basketball team than North Carolina, but I think Kansas is better than Baylor. So I'm taking North Carolina, and my other pick will be the other way. And then I'm taking UCLA.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and change. I'm gonna say Gonzaga over. I'm not gonna pick 3 1 seeds to lose. I'm just not gonna do that.
Fair enough. Yeah, that was what I was thinking with the Davidson thing. I was thinking if I pick this, Loyola Chicago, and then a couple other picks I want to make down the line, like I don't know how well that's gonna work. So
yeah. Okay. St. Mary's UCLA is a much better game than than a round of 32 game.
I think UCLA destroys them.
I do too, but I think this is a game that
I think this UCLA team is just really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like we're robbed. I think that's I think we should have gotten a better game there, but oh well. So, Texas, Purdue.
So here you have Texas, Purdue, I have Virginia Tech, Purdue. It doesn't matter. We're both taking Purdue.
Yeah. It's funny how we have like this 3 versus 6/11 seed that we have such an easy time choosing, and then like in the first round we're like, yeah, Yale has this. Like there's I think if Yale played Texas, I would give Yale a pretty solid chance to win that game.
Yeah, I probably would too. And then I hate that this is a second round matchup. This feels like you remember that Wichita, or you definitely remember this, that Wichita State undefeated team playing Kentucky.
Yeah.
In 2014. This feels like that game to me. I think this game will be a classic. I think this really good matchup, and I think Kentucky wins and might go on to win it all. But I think this Murray State team was incredibly sad that you can go 30-2 and still be a 7 seed. But especially with the seasons that Murray State's had in the past too, I think Murray State should be at least a 5 seed. That's sad.
I'm gonna do it. Let's ride.
All right.
Oh man! All right, Kansas, Creighton. I've
Kansas.
I've teased this for long enough. Creighton gets the job done. I said I don't trust the Big East. I do trust Creighton.
I may or may not have Kansas go out next round anyway, so it might not matter too much. Iowa beating South Dakota State.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. Sorry, Jackrabbits. Your run eventually ends.
Yes, I have Colgate beating Iowa State. I think the run continues. I think Colgate makes the Sweet 16 run.
Oh man, this is going to be a legend. If they're the Raiders, right? If the Raiders do this, this is going to be the greatest clip in the history of uSTADIUM. Wisconsin, I think, beats Iowa State.
I think Colgate makes the run. I really want to pick Miami.
I do too. I think Auburn wins.
Wait. Let me check my picks real quick. Just see how far from normal I'm getting. Okay, so I had 10.
Hey, Auburn's one of the teams that beat Murray State.
I had 3. Let's see. I had 3 out of 4 1 seeds winning. Screw it. Got Miami.
Oh man. So, okay.
Miami Colgate Sweet 16, 10-14. Let's do it.
I can't say that. Actually, can I check if that's ever happened? I think I can. I'm gonna go back and change those picks, but I don't think this has ever happened. Oh, no, it happened once. Our Friars beat Chattanooga in 1997. Yeah, our Friars.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, even though we both hate them and think they are absolutely trash.
That's really cool that they do that. But I just love the way Miami plays offense. I don't think they'll lose to USC. I think that Auburn game is a very, very good game. And let's do it.
All right. Sweet 16. Let's go.
I got Gonzaga beating Arkansas.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like I think Memphis might be better than Arkansas. Like I think if Memphis, I think the winner of Gonzaga-Memphis goes to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
And if it wasn't for Duke having the Coach Krzyzewski rigged tournament, I think the winner of Gonzaga-Memphis goes to the Final Four.
Oh man!
But like I said,
I think the final Krzyzewski tournament does end to a Texas Tech team that is deserving of more than the 3 seed. Very good basketball team. I hope. And I think Texas Tech gets it done, and
that would be a really fun Gonzaga Texas Tech game.
That would be a great basketball game. So we're moving on to where we're moving to Arizona, Houston now.
Man, this is when
Arizona.
This is the problem with college basketball because there's so many likable teams. There's so many teams that you think are good, and then they end up playing each other in the Sweet 16. Like, I think Arizona is the second best team in college basketball behind Gonzaga, and I think if they were the 1 seed in any other region, they would probably be in my Final Four. But they just so happen to play a team that I am really, really high on in Houston. So
I got Arizona win this game, but
Houston's been there before. They went to the Final Four last year. This is Tommy Lloyd's first bite of the apple. I think long term Arizona is going to be back, but I think Houston can get it done. I think Houston can make another nice run this year.
Elite Eight or last year, Houston.
Did they not go to the Final Four?
Maybe they did.
Yeah, they did. They beat Oregon State.
They beat Oregon State. You're right. Yeah. I had money on Oregon State. It pissed me off.
Yep. Yeah. The only 5 seed to beat a 1 seed in the last 10 years is Auburn over North Carolina.
Let's check the Cavs score really quick. Hopefully, up 16-15. Is Karis LeVert playing? Of course he's not. Wait, Lamar Stevens is starting?
I thought LeVert was supposed to play today.
Wait, maybe he's coming off the bench because it's only 6 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm happy
I know Dean Wade is out.
Oh, Stevens just hit a 3. Awesome.
Nice.
Wait, hold up. Little quick intermission to check on our Cavs. Cavs. Karis LeVert. Apparently Indianapolis wanted Watson. Oh, Karis LeVert and Laurie Markin are available. Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
So he'll be coming in soon. That's awesome. Okay.
Good. All right. Well, I think both of us have the Tennessee Loyola matchup, right?
Yes, and I got Tennessee winning that. I do think, at a certain point, the luck comes to an end. Or not luck. They're a good basketball team, but I think their run comes to an end there.
It was funny that Loyola is now I guess a known commodity, but they didn't make a tournament for decades.
It's crazy.
And then they make this magical run to the Final Four, and then they're back 2 years later. It's
It's crazy. Madness. March Madness.
I do have Tennessee winning that game, though.
Yes. Okay, so moving on. I got UCLA beating North Carolina.
Yeah, same.
And I got Kentucky beating Purdue.
Every ounce of my body is telling me to say let's ride, but I'm going to take the Boilermakers.
Yeah, okay. I like the Purdue team a lot. I would not be surprised they beat them, but let's go. So we're back in the upset region for me. And why not take another upset? Iowa coming to the tournament hot, beating Kansas in the 5-1 game.
I'm going to go with another upset. I'm going to take Creighton over Iowa here. As a 9, okay, so 9 seeds have actually won 2 out of 3 games, including Kansas State over Kentucky.
I remember that one. That was the
Loyola region.
Dean Wade team, right?
Yeah, it was. That was the year Kansas State got the all-time luck of the draw and had the 16 seed knock off the 1 seed.
Right. And then they lost to Loyola Chicago in the 9. What was it? 9.
9-11, right?
9-11. Yeah.
They got curb stomped in that game, didn't they?
And, who did Illinois Chicago lose to in the Final Four that year?
Michigan.
It was a close game, I think. No, Michigan. No, wait, no.
Or was it Villanova? It was either Villanova or Michigan.
Wait, let me check. Chicago. Wait, Loyola Chicago. No. Loyola Chicago Final Four.
Wait, didn't Syracuse make the Final Four in 2018 as well? Or is it? Well, I guess they made it in 16. I know they made it in 16. Shoot.
Yeah.
Or they can't.
Heartbreak. I remember this was a good game. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
69-57. Okay, it wasn't that close.
Was it Villanova or Michigan?
Illinois Chicago was up by double digits in the second half. Though it was Michigan. Was that the year? Was that 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Was that the year? Was that the year Michigan destroyed Nova?
No, that was the year Villanova won again.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I get those years confused. Michigan won one where they just. Oh no, Villanova destroyed Michigan. I'm sorry, I got confused. Yeah. Okay. And then so now you've got a normal matchup here. I got the team. 10 Miami against 14 Colgate. I think Colgate's Cinderella run does end here. Miami in the Elite Eight.
Wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. I'm going to go Wisconsin over Auburn. I don't feel great about this matchup. I don't think both Wisconsin and Auburn are top 16. Or I don't think either of them are top 8 teams, but one of them has to be here. If that makes sense.
Oh, so you're having Creighton go to the Final Four. I can already see that coming.
Oh my goodness! Am I really gonna have to pick Wisconsin? No, this is not ideal. Okay, well, like I've said before, I think Duke beats Gonzaga again.
Texas Tech beat Gonzaga in a classic matchup to get to the Final Four,
which might be the best game of the entire tournament.
Yes, so it might be. And then you got Houston, Tennessee. I got Arizona, Tennessee. I got Tennessee beating Arizona, advancing to the Final Four.
This Tennessee team is red hot. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. Sorry, Houston.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have Creighton go to the championship game. Okay, UCLA over Purdue.
I got Kentucky. On town there, Kentucky, man. I got a squad. Yeah.
Oh man.
One of my favorite games is Kentucky, Texas Tech. And the other one, well, wait, did you pick this game yet? Okay, you got UCLA over Purdue?
I have UCLA over Purdue.
I got Iowa defeating the Cinderella Miami Hurricanes to advance to the Final Four.
Am I really going to have Creighton go to the Final Four? I'm having to rethink all of my life decisions that I've made to get to this point. How have I descended to this Creighton to the final? No, Wisconsin.
It's madness. Oh, come on.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
All right. So you got Duke UCLA. I think you made it clear who you got winning. I got Kentucky beating Texas Tech in an amazing game.
That's going to be phenomenal. I like your bracket a lot more than I like mine. Let me just put that out there.
Awesome.
And then I think it's only fitting.
Wow.
I cannot believe it either. You have this team losing in the first round to Colgate. I don't actually hate that pick, but then I have them losing to the refs in the national championship game, 69-61.
Wow. Okay. Well, I got Iowa defeating Tennessee. I think we get a Kentucky-Iowa national championship that Kentucky will win 71-64. Wow.
Wow is right. That was unreal.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.